Hi, this is Pamela. A few weeks ago, Samantha and I attended a presentation for parents regarding the alarming increase of teenage anxiety and depression. We recorded this podcast directly afterwards.
In 2016, suicide became the second leading cause of death in individuals aged 10 to 24.
10?
According to this. So that's a little bit different than my other one. But
oh my God. That's so sad.
Data from a 2016 study conducted by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, indicates that suicide deaths among young women ages 15 to 19 doubled from 2007 to 2015. So it was 2.4 up to 5.1. This says, why are rates of suicides increasing? Families and teens are under more stress, which can influence rates of depression and mood disorders, primarily diagnosed in patients with suicidal behavior. Teens today are less able to escape negative communication and bullying because it happens online and over text message. Teens' use of technology has skyrocketed in the same time frame as the spike in social media, which does not indicate causation, but some speculate that it may play a role.
Definitely has to.
I think it does.
I mean, I liked what she said. 2 hours before bedtime, all electronics off.
I think that's great.
I think that's great.
I should do that for myself.
I need to do that for myself. She said, what do us adults even do? We even check all your emails one last time.
Yeah.
Check all your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever everybody's on. So ridiculous. However, she was super realistic. She's like, that's never going to happen 2 hours before. It would be nice to happen. Mm-hmm. I guess I could see it happening if you're like all snuggled up, you're home, you're safe, your family's all home, there's no reason to be connected, or disconnected. Be connected to your family. Be connected to dinner time or movie time or playing a game or whatever you're doing. For kids, at least a half an hour before they go to sleep. At least, at a minimum, disconnect from all electronics. And she said, which I love, meditation. I mean, Draven's been meditating since he was 2. So he meditates every night. And even if it's just to ocean waves, but normally it's to Kelly Howell or something, some kind of deep audio shanti or some kind of deep meditation he does. But, that's because he was raised with it.
Yeah.
Not everybody's raised with it. So whatever it is that you can meditate or listen to your favorite song, as long as it's soothing and relaxing so you can go to sleep. But definitely get off those video games, get off your emails, stop doing homework, stop working. It'll all be there tomorrow.
Because I'm thinking, like, for a kid, like, I would think
too
about...
much pressure.
Well, it's too much pressure. So I think about, when we were teenagers. I can't imagine, like, the last thing I'm looking at is someone saying something negative about me, and then I'm going to try to go to sleep. It's like, we didn't have that.
We didn't. Well, she also brought up in this seminar tonight how children today have the worries and pressures that we never had. They have terrorism. Mm-hmm. And they have shootings at schools.
School, yeah.
So now kids are scared to even go to school. Their anxiety and their depression and fear has elevated to a place we were always able to, we had our own independence at a younger age. We got to learn how to do things when kids need anything, parents are jumping in and like, oh, we got it.
Yeah.
We can take care of this. We can do this. And they don't know how to get through and communicate and have differences with friends and get past it. Instead, it could elevate very quickly to something that now somebody's having a shooting at your school. It's terrifying. Mm-hmm. And I understand why parents are jumping in and doing everything and trying to protect their kids because they're trying to keep their children alive. That was not discussed tonight. And
that's true.
I absolutely thought that. Mm-hmm. I had that thought as a parent. We need to protect our children at the same token, teach them.
Yeah.
Teach them how to...
Teach them survivor skills. I mean, if you can't talk to other people, you won't be able to know the difference between someone who is... You won't be a very good judge of character. I think one of the things is if you are a little bit more social, and I always call myself... what is it? People are extroverts and introverts. I'm a functioning introvert. Like most people think I'm an extrovert, but I'm actually not. I'm an introvert.
Right.
But I'm functioning because I know how to talk to people and I know how to read people. And the more you engage with people directly, you can read people better. And you can tell pretty much who's kind of on the up and up possibly and who's not. I mean, it gives you a better barometer. But if you have this anxiety where you don't want to talk to anybody, you want to only text them, and everything gets lost in the translation anyway.
Oh my God.
Text,
Do you know how many fights I've been in over text message? And I voice text all the time. So I actually think sometimes it's funny when after I get in a fight with somebody, I'm like, what the hell just happened? I'm so like confused and blown away, right? And then I'm like, oh, that person thought I said that one word changed the entire sentence in tone, and you can't hear a tone.
Right.
So, yeah, the miscommunication with technology is huge. You know what else she said? Anxiety and excitement are the same feeling.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The exact same feeling. You experience the same feeling, except for with excitement, you're more likely to go and do something, even though it's the exact emotion as anxiety, you're probably not going to go. You're too scared and you'd rather not go at all.
Yeah, she gave the example of going to Disneyland.
Which was...
Or going to your first day of school. That, like, the feelings that you're having inside are almost the same if you're really excited to go to Disneyland and you're terrified of going to the first day of school. I thought that was very fascinating.
I'm sometimes terrified to go to Disneyland.
I'm not.
I love Disneyland.
I'm going for my birthday.
Well, I guess I'm going too then. Thanks. But I am, because as I'm an empath, so I pick up on so many different people's energies. Yeah. And when I'm in it's kind of like if I'm at a concert. That's why I only go to family things or something I really, really want to go to, because I can't handle the crowds. I get anxiety. Going into the airport until I get through that security. And it's for no reason other than it's such a hustle and bustle. It stresses me out. And the reason why I'm bringing up these examples personally is because she said the way we teach our kids is putting ourselves in the uncomfortable scenarios that give us anxiety to keep breaking through it and to learn how to navigate through those difficult moments. Well, I'm still navigating. I'm still getting on planes all the time. And
well, they say the more you do it, the more the anxiety can subside.
It's working. It is working. I mean, I don't necessarily take something every time I fly. I don't necessarily have a cocktail every time I fly. I'm not numbing it. And then there's times where I will. You know, it's but I'm a normie, so it's okay. But that's me. And let's get back to the subject at hand.
No, but it's about it. The anxiety still is like if you have a fear, not necessarily that you have a fear for flying, but just as an example, if you have a fear for flying, they say the more you do it,
right?
You know, the more you go up and down, and you start realizing, oh, this is how everything works,
right? And I think I just bring it up because it's something I can relate to, right?
Exactly.
It's my those are my little false fears or anxiety
triggers. She's talking
triggers.
about the spiders and snakes. Like nobody wants to be around those, including myself, so we just avoid them.
Right. But avoiding everything we're afraid of doesn't help us overcome our fears.
No.
And that was the point.
But I will not be buying a pet snake anytime soon.
Well, good, because I wouldn't come over ever.
Or a pet tarantula or anything else.
You don't need to buy a pet tarantula. You just hang out in my backyard and you'll find them.
I won't be hanging out in your backyard. I can promise you that right now.
We're in the wilderness, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see my Instagram? Did you see it? It literally has a tarantula a week after we bought the house.
Oh, really?
Crawling across the window, and I'm on the phone, and it's as big as my hand, and it was hairy and black.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to look back through your feed.
They mean good luck, by the way. Spiders are good luck and creative. So if you're spiritual and you believe in weird things like that, let's always look for silver lining, folks. Let's not get scared.
So what do the snakes mean?
I have no idea. But it's to face those fears. It's to actually, if you're scared to go somewhere alone or to eat alone. Some people are scared to eat alone or go into a restaurant alone. That gives them anxiety a lot. And I hear that. That's a big topic.
Do you ever notice that if someone is eating alone, someone they're usually looking at their phone or like they're sitting somewhere. It's like, I feel like what's interesting about technology is that in a way it's a safe way for us to feel connected, but it's almost like a fake way that we're connecting, because we all want to feel connected. So it's like you're alone by yourself, you're going to be looking at the phone. You're not going to be like, most people are not going to be watching the other people. They're going to be looking at their phone.
I love how phones today now, though, are telling us how much time we're spending being productive or being wasteful of our time on social media.
Oh, interesting. I don't even know that.
My phone tells me all the time, which I'm quite proud to say I work more than I do any social media. But
good for you.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of cool, and it actually makes me more mindful of not being on there so much, because I also think it's a negative form. Like you said, I don't want to go to bed at night knowing that a fan or a stranger, or even worse, if it was your friends or family, didn't like what I was wearing or thought I looked ugly or...
Yeah, but you're in a position that a lot of people that are younger, is like, if someone said that, you'd be like, whatever, so you don't like my outfit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you would not care as much, I don't think. Because you're a really strong person. I don't think that you'd be like...
Isn't that funny, though?
Yeah.
Because you think I'm so strong. Can I tell you how many nights I've cried when people that I've never even met before rip you to shreds over something that normally I would never care about? And I bet you in my face they would never, ever have the balls to tell me that, right? They're like these virtual gangsters behind the computer. But it's horrific. So I'm trying now with the new technology that's telling us how productive we're being and how non-productive we're being. That's helping me right now because I'm actually using that tool to benefit me.
Yeah, that's
because
interesting.
I don't want to be on the internet before I go to bed.
It's something that we need to address. I mean, I don't think that it's going to change. We're not going to get rid of our phones, but maybe there is a better way for us to interact.
I was so upset. I actually thought I really hurt my friend's feelings. And we were in a text miscommunication. And I was so disappointed in the lack of communication. By the time we spoke 2 days later, I had lost sleep over this. And then when we got on the phone, everything was like way better than I had thought.
The thing is, what's interesting is the scenario, and she was even touching upon this tonight too, is that we create in our heads. Like the stuff that we create in our head that isn't even real. And that's part of what anxiety is, and it's depression and things they're going through. I mean, even when people are suicidal, they're creating things in their head that are not real.
This is when I would suggest read the 4 Agreements. It's a really easy, breezy book, and it's not taking things personally. She brought up a really good book tonight, and I'm really interested in reading it. And now that I finished mine, I can actually read other people's books. How to Raise an Adult, Break Free of the Overparenting Trap, and Prepare Your Kid for Success by Julie Lithcott.
I'd love to read that because I think it's a very fascinating approach.
And she did mention one other book tonight that I think it's worth us mentioning. The Price of Privilege, How Parental Pressure and Material Advantage Are Creating a Generation of Disconnected and Unhappy Kids.
Well, also, the thing is that they are talking about children, but we don't know what these children are going to be like as adults. How are they going to have kids? How are they going to function?
How are they going to take care of us?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was the other thing. Like, once we're geriatrics, like, how are they going to take care of us? You're like, thanks, Pamela.
Oh, my God, right? I feel very blessed. I feel like my son's very equipped for the world.
Yes.
But, yeah, I see a lot of kids out there, and I'm like, you can't even tie your shoe. Sometimes my own kid can't even tie his shoe. I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
And this is the generation that's going... I have faith in the human race. I have faith in human beings. I have faith that the more people that do stuff that we're doing get back freely, start talking.
Talking about it actually helps it dissipate. So that's what we need to do. We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it afterward. We just need to keep the conversation going. Okay.
The chocolate's really good.
A chocolate break. Zach. We're going to have to edit this.
No, keep it. Keep it. Remember how she laughed at me?
Thank you. Oh my God.
I really want to bring up something extremely personal that I have not told anyone because this actually happened yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday, every year I go to my doctor and I run my blood panel. But I had said to him, I wanted him to refill Klonopin. I get anxiety now from this whole experience. I think I dealt with a little bit of a stigma of like, why are you still grieving?
No,
or he didn't say that by all means.
Right.
He's a fantastic doctor, but I felt I got that feeling like you should be moving along faster. He actually wanted to put me on antidepressants.
Wow. And
he said, my life has not been easy. And so he thinks that my stress levels have always been so high from a child to now as a grown woman that when your stress levels are so high, that puts strain on your heart. Yeah. So that's creating anxiety. And I refuse to go on medication every day. I know I don't need it. I don't want the side effects. I looked at him like, you've known me my whole life. He's like, yeah, I know. But in my biological family, being Italian and Greek, my Italian side, there is heart disease that I have found out from, finding my biological family. And I still don't know because I don't interact with them on a daily basis. I don't know that much. So I guess I'm going to be proactive and do all these tests. But here I am in the doctor's office, a little Miss Sunshine too, right? And here they're worried about me. And I'm like, I help others. I'm a life coach. I'm fine. I was so blown away by the fact that they wanted to put me on antidepressants.
Wow. And you're feeling judged.
I'm feeling very judged.
Yeah.
And
by your own doctor.
By my own physician.
Wow. I've been very against, I know we're a little bit off topic, people, but it's interesting to bring this in because I know that people who suffer from depression or who have been suicidal want to get on these people want to put them on these pills. And I was very against this. I was 100% against this.
Pamela, I'm so against it. When I life coach clients, I work side by side with their doctors to get them off antidepressants.
Right.
So you can imagine my shock.
No, I'm sure you were really shocked. And what was interesting for me was that a lot of my friends, when I went through my divorce and I was so kind of devastated, they were like, she's, especially because I've had the suicide in my past, not me, but right. I'm a survivor. They were really worried about me. And so, and I went to a doctor and she was like, I really think you should get on antidepressants. And I said, one of the reasons I didn't want to get on antidepressants was because I've had friends who shall remain nameless that are on antidepressants. And it's like, they don't have their antidepressants and they become somebody else that I don't want to know.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I have a few friends like that. So that was I didn't want to get addicted to anything. You know me, I'm not an addictive personality. I barely drink. I've never done a drug in my life. It's kind of weird, but I mean, it's not that I'm against those things for other people, but that's just been my choice. So my doctor was saying, because what I found out, the reason that I think this is interesting is I found out that, well, you can get on them and then you can get off of them. Okay, so, but what's interesting is once you get on them, it takes 2 to 3 times as much time to get off them.
Right.
So I was really shocked by that because that means it's making a very significant chemical imbalance.
Right.
So I did take antidepressants for, it was 2 to 3 months. Took me over 9 months to wean myself.
Did it help you through that?
For me, it helped me in the sense of I really needed to, and I was nowhere, you are sunshine. I've been around you or whatever. So it's you guys were around me. You know how depressed, how upset I was or whatever. It really was coming down to that I was barely functioning. And it's and when she told me that I could get off of them, I was like, okay. But what was interesting is for 2 weeks I couldn't even take them because I had anxiety about taking the damn thing. You know what I mean? I have anxiety about taking the pill.
I know.
You know what I mean? So I couldn't even take them. But what was weird was I didn't like the fact when I took them, I suddenly couldn't feel. Right. It was driving me crazy that normal things that would make me cry or normal things that would make me laugh, I was just kind of chilling even.
Yeah, see, and I can't
weird.
do that. I believe in feel to heal. That's what works for me.
It works for me too.
He said I'm so tenacious.
Oh, interesting.
He says he's known me for quite some time. I'm so tenacious that's what pulls me out of dark places. But that's why he worries about my heart long term of stress levels. So I'm taking him very seriously.
No, and I think that there needs to be more of a balance. And I think that's another thing that people really need to talk about is that one of the reasons that I didn't want to take drugs is I'm the same way. It's like, I don't want to just fix it with drugs and then what happens once I'm off the drugs? I mean, that was the first thing I said to the doctor.
Right.
And then she was like, you can start doing the drugs and then you can go off of it. Because she was saying, I think you just need to reset your brain. Like she was like, you just need to reset your brain. It's almost like, having a glass of wine to relax type of thing.
Well, that's what he prescribed me, and I said that works for me.
Yeah,
1 glass of red wine, but he said 1, Samantha, 1, and you can't. And he goes, and you can't not drink for 2 weeks and then make up for lost time because I'm known to do that.